What's up, everybody? Good morning. How's everybody doing?
Morning.
We got Michael Lombard on here somewhere. I'm not sure where he's at. He's somewhere.
Good morning. Good. Getting the vest on.
Hello, everybody. It's just me.
There he is.
I'll be back.
Well, welcome everybody from Zion National Park here in Utah. That's where I am. It is still very dark here at the campground, and but we are on the final leg of our journey back home to St. Louis from Oregon. How are you guys doing this morning?
I am doing fantastic.
Taking Wolfie. Yeah. Come on.
There's Nick. There he is. Pedro, what's up, brother?
Oh, sorry, guys.
Man, I am Nick sounds like he's fumbling through his own obstacle course over there, man. Are you all right?
Dude, after all that, there's an issue with the Instagram streaming. So I sat there and waited to press the button and it don't work. Listen,
You know, 9 out of 10 times.
Wolfie needed a good walk with Daddy and the boys. Wolfie, look. Yes,
9 out of 10 times, it's usually the operator, not the equipment, Nick. But Trey, I'm doing great, man. It's the start of a new month, right? So I guess we could all set some new goals, some things we want to accomplish before the end of July here. But I'm excited, man. I don't know, just excited. Nothing special coming up. I'm just excited. That's all I can say. Can we say excited one more time? Excited.
Excited to be alive, man.
I'm excited that you're excited.
Always excited. Yeah, month 6 of 12 is all locked in. Over 50% of the year is done.
I know, it's crazy, man. It's going fast, going super fast. And it's July, and it's time to celebrate our nation's birth. Man, coming up on 250 years next year, and pretty incredible. So got Independence Day here on Friday. You guys got any plans? Ooh, Jessica Hallington, good morning. Yeah, happy July 1st. That's right. Second half kicks off today.
Dude, I just want to brag because I don't usually when I grew up on the Vineyard, I love 4th of July. I love 4th of July in New England, but when I moved to Florida, it's every other Saturday down here. It's like, hey, let's go boating and fireworks. So it doesn't really matter. But I'm going to Orlando, and my buddy who I grew up with is throwing a Jaws-themed 4th of July party. So I am in my nerd element, and I can't wait.
Nice. Yeah, because it's like the 50th year anniversary of Jaws, right? Isn't that what it is?
Happens to be my favorite movie. It's filmed where I live before I was born, but still.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm super excited for this week. I've got my family's actually coming into Austin to visit. But let's see. I know on Friday, a good friend of mine who I did the Texas Water Safari with, we're probably thinking going to start around 6 a.m. I think we're going to run 17.76 miles.
Nice.
Had to throw that flex. Why not? Figured why not?
Yeah, that's awesome.
Well, this isn't much of a flex for that, but I don't know if you guys can see this or not, but this is the picture from last night. Let's see if I can get it on there. That's the picture from last night here at our campground.
Showing the
Can you
stars.
see that? Yeah, can you see that?
Wait for Daddy.
I got something to say about the stars.
That's amazing, dude.
Yeah.
You know what?
That was
You know what's
incredible.
and this throws people off sometimes, but we look up, they have those constellations and all that stuff, like Ursa Minor and all that. Constellations or what's it called? Constellations don't exist anywhere else but Earth. It's all about perception. The constellations don't exist on Saturn or the moon or Venus. They're just not the same. It all has to do with perception.
Well, I got one that's going to blow your mind then on the stars. But that if the nearest star is 4 light years away, when you look up at the stars at night, we're actually looking into the past. The light that you are seeing is at least 4 years away from us, and we're looking into the past.
Time being the most relative thing.
There you go. See, we don't just talk fitness and healthy habits on Iron Minds here. We talk like meaning of the universe and really just kind of blow your mind.
Yeah, it's already happened. Speaking of fitness, though, I do want to say I shared that video to you, Nick, and I challenge it to the audience and everybody else. Where Trey, you end the show with the Bible quote about how as iron sharpens iron, as one man sharpens another. That quote, I saw a great video about a gentleman explaining how people think the meaning of that quote has everything to do with your community and like who you're friends with. And where that is true, the gentleman goes a step further and says how when it comes to iron sharpening iron, it's not a comfortable process. It requires banging the iron and frickin' and really causing sparks and getting it hot, which means you should be associated with people who are challenging you, who are telling you, who are not allowing you to get comfortable and stay exactly where you are, who are trying to actually get better, which may be uncomfortable.
Yeah, there's a lot of truth to that, man. There's a lot of truth to that. Because, it's one thing to say people around you matter, and they do matter, but it's about what you do when you're together. And are you pushing each other? Are you making each other uncomfortable? Because when you actually watch two blades sharpen each other, it is violent and it is, physical, and it's basically breaking off the rough edges, of the swords. And yeah, it's not the most pleasant experience in the world, that's for sure. That is for sure.
Yeah, so I mean, if that's the thing. Yeah, who you surround yourself with. If you're with a crowd of people who's kind of endorsing a lifestyle that's not serving you, then the iron won't sharpen the iron. You don't get better just by sitting there.
Yep.
What's really good timing for me is this afternoon at lunch, I actually get to speak to the AUSA Suncoast chapter. It's the Association of the U.S. Army. And I'm only speaking for 20 minutes, so I'm giving a very abridged version, but I'm sharing my story, and of course I'm leaning in on how everyone needs a tribe. So I'll be adding this segment to the end of the speech today about, it's not just about support and encouragement. Sometimes your tribe needs to set you straight. Sometimes we need to make you sharper.
Yeah, so much truth in that. So much truth in that, man. It's so good. Well, let's talk about what we're doing this week. So I'm excited for today. This morning at 6 a.m., which is going to be in about 50 minutes, my kids and my wife and I are going to go hop on the shuttle and go up and hike about 4 to 6 miles this morning and try to catch a little bit of that sunset that we were talking about earlier. So I'm looking forward to that. We're going to be rolling into Estes Park on Friday, going to a rodeo on Saturday. Going to be fireworks, of course, on Friday night. And I feel like we're just going to be living the Midwest American country rodeo 4th of July this year. It's gonna be great.
You said Estes Park. Is that named after the carrier, or is that just coincidence?
Definitely after the carrier. I mean, there's no doubt.
I didn't know they had one, so
no, it's gonna be great. So we got Zion today and tomorrow, and then tomorrow we drive to Arches in Moab, Utah. We go hiking at Arches on Thursday morning, and then Friday, July 4th, we drive over to Estes Park. So
that would be the ultimate. That would be the ultimate flex. Businesses always want to get on stadiums, but yeah, if you're but a business getting a national park or getting one of those, that's a way bigger flex than some football stadium. I'd much rather have Lombard National Park than Lombard Field.
Well, I always resent the big companies that own the big parks or big stadiums, and probably because most of them are health insurance companies who have enough money to sponsor.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? Stadium. Yeah, the company that's supposed to be insuring us and making using good use of our money is put on the side of a stadium like Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City is actually GEHA, which is the Government Employees Health Association. And it's on the side of a stadium there. That's a whole other thing for a whole other day, though. That's for sure.
Yeah.
That is for sure.
Yeah, everything
Oh,
about the 4th of July is great. It's my personal favorite holiday. The weather's normally good for everybody else. Like our other holidays great, like, but it has everything to do with the meeting. Like, like Christmas is different for everybody, but like July 4th and Thanksgiving kind of especially, but July 4th I still think is superior because Thanksgiving is really it's really a family oriented holiday. And you're kind of being grateful for things in your life. Whereas July 4th to me has everything to do with everybody in the country. It has to do with people you don't know. It has everything to do with, and really being grateful for the perseverance and the history of where you're from. And that's whether you're from one of the original 13 colonies or you're from Alaska and Hawaii, our most recent state. Like you're kind of accepted into that holiday and that holiday's tradition, and it's geared towards everybody, and kind of everybody does something different, whether it's going over somebody's house, whether it is being on a boat, whether it's going downtown watching fireworks. Like there's something in the air that just makes it that much better. And again, the weather's a factor, so people aren't really inside. Like Thanksgiving can be cold wherever people are at, so like everybody is out there doing stuff, traveling, taking advantage of what's in the, that's when they're going to the beaches, the state parks, the campgrounds. Like they're taking full advantage of everything kind of under the sun that we have going on. And people are people are excited about it. I love it. There's an energy about 4th of July that's just quite literally explosive that I always look forward to.
it's a Lombard holiday for sure. I mean, it is everything Michael Lombard for sure. Speaking of fireworks, boys, I got to finally meet in person our good friend on the show here, the Freight Sensei, Scott Watanabe, up in Boise. And I got to tell you, we went to the minor league Boise Hawks. It's actually an independent league in the Pioneer League. And at the end of the show, they put on probably the best fireworks show I've ever seen, second only to the Savannah Bananas. Man, it was an incredible display of fireworks. Man, there's something about watching fireworks that just puts a smile on your face and brings everybody together. Makes you put your arms around people and just look up at this amazing display. And that was pretty special. So got to meet Scott in person. Great dude. Got to meet his family. I've known that guy for 4.5 years on Word on the Street. Met him for the first time last week. It was awesome. I guess Saturday we met. So
I can't speak for all you guys, but the way you just talked about fireworks, it always just brings me back to being a little kid. Like, that's whenever I see fireworks, I just remember being a kid in 4th of July or the summer fireworks, and it just brings me back. It's nostalgic.
Yeah. Jessica, are you in Boise? Jessica just said they are a great show. I wonder if she's been to the Boise Hawks.
Well, I'm pretty sure she lived up there for a while. She's she's in Texas, the greater Houston area.
Yeah, I thought she was, but maybe she's been up there from there.
Yeah, she's from Idaho, so I'm sure she has.
Nice. Forgot about that.
Yeah, minor league baseball teams have been crushing the fireworks. I know personally. If you guys didn't know on the show, I did spend 2 years as a mascot of the Hartford Yard Goats, 2 seasons, and
that's what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah, and I think they had fireworks after every weekend game, and they were electric. They were great, and it was geared towards, because minor league parks are really geared towards family friendly activities.
Totally.
That's kind of what it's geared towards.
Yeah, they've got to be family friendly to draw a crowd, because the baseball is good, the players are good, but I think prices are low. There's a lot of ice cream, there's a lot of fun stuff on the field, and fireworks afterwards for sure. So all good. Oh, dude, there's a lot of bugs out here running around in the desert. It's currently 85 degrees at 5 in the morning. So that's what we got going today. I think the high today is like 106 here. Whew, it's gonna be a hot one.
And Trey's like, yeah, let's just go hike 6 miles in the desert. It's only gonna be 130. Dad, what all do we need to bring? Just a bottle of water and a change of socks.
Water. Well, the truth is you don't sweat out here. Like, it's crazy, even though it's hot,
so dry.
because it's so dry. So like it's when we rolled in last night at like 7 o'clock, it was still like 98 degrees last night. But my wife got out of the RV and she's like, "Oh, this is manageable. I can manage this." So it's a way different heat, of course, It's still hot, but like you don't sweat as much. So lots of water though. Lots of water for sure. Yeah,
Yeah,
Jessica. Lots of water.
I would be remiss to not talk about hydration. Yeah, that dry heat. I remember training in 29 Palms in July, and that's how. It'll be like $120 during the day, but then at night it'll be like 88 or 90, and you could still feel that temperature drop. Like and if you're sweating, you'll kind of get cold even though it's 90 degrees when you go from sweating to like a 30-degree temperature drop. Like it still does it. But I would be remiss not to talk about hydration as a great health tip for the Iron Minds crowd, which you definitely want lots of water, but especially if you're active, and by active that can mean you going into an air-conditioned gym or not. But if you are relatively active and you are out there, you definitely want to get, I have a BPN supplement, electrolytes powder. Adding something like a low calorie electrolytes mixer to either as soon as you wake up or right before you go to bed is going to be key. A lot of times when it comes to dehydration is like a lot of times the reason you think that you need an extra coffee in the afternoon. Like sometimes people think, oh, I'm a little sluggish after lunch or 2 p.m. because of like you need more caffeine, you need more energy. And the first symptom of dehydration is fatigue. So like if you're starting to get a little brain foggy, you're starting to get a little bit tired at the end of the day, it's not definitely, maybe, and you could have an extra cup of coffee. I'm not saying don't, but it could be you're low on electrolytes. Like we don't know, we were just talking about this with Nick. That's why I asked him if he got a sweat test. You don't know how much sodium you're using. You don't know how much sodium you're losing. And when it comes to sodium and potassium, you want to keep those in because that extra level of energy just might mean your body needs a few more electrolytes.
It's okay. We're going to pass. And you're going to be cool about it. Leave it.
Yeah.
Leave it. Leave it. Leave it. Good boy.
Yeah.
Good boy.
There you go. My dog.
Yes, electrolytes, sodium. I'm taking Element T or Element, taking Propel, and about 1.5 teaspoons of Himalayan sea salt and a lemon and a half throughout the course of the day in my water too. So I'm getting about 5,000 milligrams of sodium a day right now because I'm also sweating a considerable amount. And before I would always have like one electrolyte thing per day, but when you're sweating 5 pounds water, one little packet of Propel isn't going to do it.
Yeah, it's great thing to monitor.
Nick's got the dual hands going. He's got one hand with the selfie stick, and he's got another hand with the dog. That's impressive.
It was pretty impressive how I picked up and threw away the poop too.
Hey, there's our boy, Freight Sensei. Scott, we just talked about you, man. Talked about meeting you for the first time in Boise in the incredible fireworks show at the Boise Hawks. He and the family came back to the RV afterwards and hung out for about a half hour or so. We just got to talk and meet, man. It was so cool. It's so cool meeting people in person that you've known only virtually. There's just nothing like it, man. And we had a good time. Scott, good to see you, my friend, once again.
Yeah, that's what's so great about the truck shows. It's what's great about Matt's. It's what's great about all of us. Seeing the people you stir the pot and you can tell that you have a lot in common just from kind of relationship building via the internet. We were talking about this last night on the Truck Parking Club live stream about those use cases for social media. Like, is it good to take breaks? Should we live through screens? Like, no, absolutely. But there's nothing wrong with popping on Iron Minds on your Tuesday morning. Like some people are like, oh, wake up and get on your phone. And it's like, it sounds, when you zoom out, it sounds like bad or whatever, but it's how are you using it? It's just like food. And I said this on the live stream last night, like food, we need food. Like it is good for us. And we're not going, I'm not saying we need smartphones, we need this technology, but we're not putting the lid on Pandora's box. We're never going to go back to the before time. Should you take breaks? Yeah. Should you take a weekend, unplug, throw the phone away and go out and vibe? Sure. But we're not putting the lid back on this box. So just like with food is fuel. Food can help you gain muscle mass and get you closer to your goals, and it's going to keep you alive. Or if you use food, you could use food in a different way where it's going to cause you metabolic dysfunction, chronic disease, cause you to be overweight. So how you use and consume food is the same way you use and consume this technology. You know, the way you use this technology can prime you. It can sharpen iron. It can have you learn some stuff and grow and meet some people who are going to get you outside and challenge you to do things outside of your comfort zone. Or it's going to take you down a road that has you angry, depressed, anxious, because that's how you're deciding to use it. I mean, if you have to just look at it cognitively and say, how am I consuming? How am I using? Is it helping or hurting me? Is this serving me? And then you take that a step further. Once you ask what's serving me out in the real world, is this helping me? Is who I'm with helping me? You find how you can start to steer your rudder to keep you on track.
So true, man. That's so well done. I mean, everything around us is not good or bad. It's how we use it that determines its impact on our bodies. And hey, Scott, I was just going to show you this real quick. I showed it earlier, but this is Zion National Park last night, my friend. Look at this. And Jeff, look at this. Isn't that cool, dude? What a display! So amazing, so amazing.
Good boy. Yeah. Come on, we'll do some more. I love the
Zion National Park. Scott, go ahead.
I was saying what Michael was saying. Every time I hear someone say how we need to get off social media, it's on social media. So, and I find fault with that. Also, all of the world's available information is available on our devices. Stop telling me to get off it. If you're sitting inside doom scrolling all day, you don't have a device issue, you have a life issue. That has nothing to do with social media. If you can't find something better to do, that's a different conversation. But I don't know, and this is probably my fault. I only know one person in my neighborhood. He does triathlons too, so I really don't have an excuse not to train with somebody. But you know, here I am talking to the three of you, sorry. It's we would not be able to stay so connected. We would not have so much information. You know, the tribes would be a lot smaller, a lot more territorial. They'd have a lot less information. They would have just like anything else. I mean, I'm listening to Sapiens right now. If you've read that, I'm sure Lombard has. Yeah.
Is that by Sebastian Junger?
I want to say yes. I'm listening to the audio version of it right now, and it's still kind of early on, but I mean, it's just talking about how, you know, literally you needed the tribe to survive. If you were rejected by the tribe or cast out by the tribe, your chances of survival on your own were very, very slim. And whereas that's not necessarily the same right now, it's a lot easier to thrive in this life with the tribe, regardless of where they're geographically located. And I would even argue that the fact that we can open up our networks and relationships to just be across the globe, across the country, to people of different perspectives, different backgrounds, different experiences. We're not just all growing up with the same myopic point of view anymore either. There's my diatribe.
No, that it makes a lot of sense. Yeah, I mean, you think about it from, you know, and I say this quite often, like, yeah, like 10,000 years ago, if you weren't with the tribe, like community is exactly how humans have navigated drought, famine, you know, weather, you know, any sort of weather phenomenon, disease. Like you kind of needed to stick together in order to literally just to survive. Like your reward was surviving. And I use that same context. That's why I think everybody should run. I'm not saying everybody needs to run marathons, but everybody should do some form of running, because the only reason you exist, the only reason humans exist, is because of running. Like we are here because of endurance. Like that's it. The ability to survive, and the reward at the end of a long run and long walking and stalking was you got to eat, you got to live. That was the reward for endurance, and that we're on the top of the food chain because of it. And that's the best thing about community is, yeah, like, you know, even a short time ago, your community was only exactly where you lived in that neighborhood. So it was almost forced. But yeah, that you do get kind of caught into a sort of, I don't want to call it mob rule, but there's a group think to certain communities where when you live in a certain area, there's a certain mindset and a certain type, and there's a certain type that maybe isn't beneficial to your life. We've learned that. We see that there's communities out there that we shouldn't be in. We see those types of people when it comes to cliques in high school. You know, the the groups of people who are kind of getting into trouble and all that stuff. And that's kind of how things were pre-technology. But when it comes to today, yeah, there's so much access to communication. You could be linked up with, some of the best people, depending on what your goals are.
Yeah, I would agree with that, man. Like it's amazing how we can be more connected. Well, here's the crazy thing: we can be more connected with technology and have our tribe, but you still need those people like in your community that you physically hang out with. I'm pretty excited to get home because that means I get back to my weekly hikes with Dr. Mark Manera on Thursday mornings, and we're actually going to get together and start hanging out a little bit more like on Tuesday mornings after Iron Minds as well. So I can't wait to get back and actually see him in person. But it is, man, technology just allows us to have AI in our pocket, meet with people, connect with people. On this trip, because of Starlink, I've been able to have video calls like normal with work and really stay connected with everybody. Whereas, 5 years ago, it would have been hard to do that. Well, we'd have been really stuck out here. And talking about the isolation point that you made, I saw a deer just the other day out in the field. Actually, that, and then on the way down here, we saw a cow in the field all by itself. I thought to myself, if that cow doesn't get with other cows, it's going to die quickly. Like it needs to be with other cows to survive and do well. So there's a lot to be said about that, man.
Yeah, there's a girl I know from the gym. So I go to Onnit Gym in Austin, and this girl is a part of the community. She's part of the running community. She had a job offer back in Los Angeles. It was better paying. She had the apartment locked in. Her bags packed. Everything. Car was packed. Like ready to go, like this person, and and then she didn't end up going, and described it because of community. She said that everything in her body, like her gut, like to the point at which she was like almost like where she felt like immense guilt. Just everything told her that it was wrong. Like where on paper it looks fun, it looks great. Like on paper everything looks great. She was going to live in Santa Monica. Like, can you beat that? But everything in her body, like it made her like, and it wasn't like that idea of being nervous because I moved to Texas. Was I a little nervous moving to Texas? Sure, but it wasn't like I need to stay home. It was like just nervous because it was doing something new. It's like going into a cold shower. But for her, everything about it felt wrong because of leaving the community that welcomed her in, that challenged her to do 100-mile races, that challenged her to do all these things. She's like, I can't leave this to not have it in my life every single day.
Yeah, dude, that's wild. If she had made the move, the first thing she would have done is find that community. Like if she had been forced to go that way or had done that, that's the first thing she'd do is find the running tribe, find her group of people. Man, it's just so important to have that. It's so important to have that group. That's for sure. Yeah. So Jeff Dickinson, swimming, my friend.
Yeah.
Get a membership to the Y and go swimming, dude.
Dude,
or go to the beach.
In love with swimming too.
I've got Jeff. I told Jeff I can take him. Jeff thinks his running days are over. There's a way he can get back into it. I know it because if Goggins can with everything he's gone through, if there's a will, there's a way. But again, yeah, Jeff's your number one weapon has got to be without a doubt swimming and cycling. They can be, and what's great is you can do races in both of them. There's ways to, because sometimes people don't want to do like. Sometimes we do it in Orange Theory. Like Orange Theory has different benchmarks because not everybody wants to compete, go run races and do that stuff. But how can you see, if you're making any progress like in the gym? And so that's why we do benchmarks like the mile benchmark, the 2,000-meter row, the 12-minute tread for distance. We do those so you can see, oh, I am getting faster. Oh, I am getting fitter. Those non-scale victories. And you can still do that with swimming and cycling. Can't endorse them enough. Jeff, they'll keep you injury free.
Jeff, this is the part that we talked about earlier about iron sharpening iron. The process is actually quite painful and challenging for two pieces of iron to come together and knock off the rough edges. So Michael Lombard's going to be calling you out to start doing a little bit of jogging at the right time. Maybe not tomorrow or today, but at the right time. But in the meantime, swimming, cycling, two great things. Rowing, great things that really don't impact your joints like running does. That's for
now,
sure.
Without comparing myself to Jeff, because I don't know what his knee thing is, but there was a time in my life where I used to say I couldn't run because of my knees. And for me, it was an excuse because, my knees were jacked up, but that's because I sat on my ass all the time. And so as I began to change that and found out imbalances and muscle things that needed correction, now, that's why I spend so much time working out every day is that more often than not, I'm just doing rehab and strengthening and things to make it so that I actually can run moderately pain-free again.
Right. Well, you know, joint issues are usually a factor of one of two things: either too much weight on the joints, like if you're overweight, then your knees are going to hurt because they're carrying more weight than they're supposed to. That's number one. Number two is muscle weak muscles that are around that joint. If you have one muscle that's strong and one that's weak, the joint has to compensate for that, and that makes an issue. So Nick, you're absolutely right. Getting the right muscle structure is important. Just mainly just getting out and running or getting out and moving. And Jeff, I'd get out and start walking on grass. You know, that's an easy way to get motion in, but on grass instead of on concrete. That'll make your joints feel way better.
I'll also add a suggestion to that too. Do it barefoot.
Oh yeah, because that strengthens those little muscles. That's for sure.
And not just that, but it keeps, theoretically anyways, as I have awful mechanics, but when you're doing it barefoot, you have a better feeling of where you're landing, and so that you're landing underneath you and letting the right muscles do the right work instead of trying to compensate.
Yeah. Jeff says he needs a double knee replacement surgery. Guys, I'm amazed at how they can replace hips and knees, and people can get back and actually perform and function at a higher level after that. Like the science behind all that stuff is just crazy. Like hip replacement is like the easiest joint replacement now. Like a hip, like that's crazy to me. I've known a couple people who've done that recently, and it's an easier rehab than a knee replacement. Like that blows me away. A hip joint's a big deal.
You're like outpatient same day.
Crazy. Yeah, it's crazy, the technology today. So Jeff, go get the knee replacement and get in the pool and get rowing and doing that. That'll be good. Okay, guys, we got to finish on this. So it is 4th of July week. It's coming up on Friday. What's everybody doing on 4th of July this week? What are the plans? I'm going to be in Estes Park watching fireworks. What are you guys doing?
Orlando at a Jaws party.
Jaws party. Pedro, what are you doing, my friend?
I don't think I'm doing anything July 4th, but our city is doing their whole thing on July 5th. So having a bunch of stuff downtown, and then they're going to end it all with fireworks. So I think that's what I'm going to do, is do our stuff on July 5th. So
you better eat a hot dog and some potato salad or something on July 4th, man. Get something American, you know?
Well, I mean, I'll
Dude, don't let the terrorists win. You have to barbecue on 4th of July.
That's right. Michael Lombard, what are you doing on 4th of July, my friend?
Oh, yeah. Like I said, I'm linking up with my boy Billy. 6 a.m. We're going to do 17.76 mile run. And then I'll be vibing by a friend of ours' pool. My parents will be in town, my brother and his wife.
Well, there you are.
So, yeah, we'll be hanging out with the big crowd on Friday, catch the fireworks at night. We got a boat on Lake Travis on Saturday. So boat on Lake Travis on Saturday. Yeah, we're just we're gonna relish in American excellence, American glory. Probably try to watch Transformers 1 sometime this week.
Nice.
Getting fired up.
Nice, let's go. Looks like Scott's going beach running. Jeff is giving out free flags for the Knights of Columbus. Nice work, Jeff. Way to go on that. Oh, a little fun fact. We were in Salt Lake City yesterday, and I got to take my kids to where High School Musical was filmed. Now, that may not mean much to you guys. My kids are big musical kids, and High School Musical was like one of their favorite things growing up. We had to walk the hallways of East High yesterday, and it's got to feel like we're back in the movie. So we're going to watch High School Musicals this week. I'm pretty sure all week, which is going to be fun. So, all right, gentlemen, hey, it is great to see you guys. As next week, I'll be coming to you from Kansas City, Missouri. Or no. I apologize. Colorado Springs. Still Mountain Time. Be on Colorado Springs next week for Iron Minds. But remember, buddy, as iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens another. Go find your tribe, find your group, get moving, whatever it is. And we'll see you right back here next week. Peace out, everybody. Let's go.